parable tells the story of the wind and the sun, who one day are arguing over who is stronger. Suddenly, they see a traveler coming down the road, and they decide to settle the argument over who is more powerful by seeing who can get the traveler to take his coat off. The wind blows as hard as it can, but the traveler simply tightens up his coat even more. Then the sun softly shines its warm rays on him. The traveler suddenly feels warm and finally removes his coat, declaring the sun the winner. There is an expression that draws the principle of this parable to the forefront. You can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. I look at the condition of our society marked with political posturing, racial tension, strife, and division, and I've often thought how much lesser the contention would be if we simply treated one another with respect. Paul challenged the church in his letter to the Ephesians, the 4th chapter and the 32nd verse, when he said, "Be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, has forgiven you." I know that it's probably old-fashioned of me, but what if we turned to some of the manners and etiquette of old? Things like, yes sir, no sir, or yes ma'am, no ma'am, holding the door for one another, please and thank you. I know that these simple solutions certainly aren't going to bring a ceasefire between warring nations, but I do believe that an attitude of respect will ease much of the tension that we see today. So I close this week out with that challenge. Have an attitude of respect toward those around you. I would also like to conclude today's thought by one more time inviting you. Just 2 days from now, we'll be celebrating Easter Sunday, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And I would love to have you as my guest at Living Hope Church, 21650 Chancellor's Run Road. Our service begins at 11 o'clock. We have a service for the adults and one for the children. And I would love to have you join me Easter Sunday, so you are formally invited.